Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Kelly Norton. I'm known as the AZ Realty Lady. I'm a Valley native, a real estate agent of over 24 years, and the owner of the Arizona Living Group, and an associate broker here at eXp Realty. Today we are out in beautiful North Phoenix. We're at one of the trail systems, and I just want to bring you some tips on owning a home in Arizona, living in Arizona, just to prepare you if you plan to move to the Valley. And maybe you already live here. Maybe you might find that this is something new that you did not know. So let's start with some of our pests and our creatures that we have out here in Arizona. I know a lot of people are afraid of scorpions. Well, the best way to keep the scorpions away is to get rid of their food source. So we're going to talk about this and a couple other tips, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Kelly Norton, your AZ Realty Lady at eXp Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate. All right, so the creepy crawlies, the scorpions. So they eat little insects, little bugs, crickets. So if you keep those down, oftentimes it's going to make their food source scarce and they're not going to want to hang out for very long. If you make them really comfortable and give them a full belly, they're going to stay and want to continue to feast at your house. So that is really a great thing. Another thing to do, well, not having them feast, but a great thing to do is your regular pest control. And our clients that close with the Arizona Living Group actually get a free first pest control done on their home. So that'll help get a jump start on it. And then of course you can continue your service with that company or with another company. So that is certainly up to you. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other things with how to keep those guys out of your house. The newer houses are sealed up pretty good, but if you have an older home, they're not sealed up as well. So there is something called sealing your house. And if you seal your house and all the gaps in the windows and everything, then they can't get in as easily. A lot of times if people have doggy doors, they can kind of get in that way as well. But I will tell you, I live on a mountain, which is probably one of those things that everyone thinks, oh, you live near the desert on the mountain, you're gonna have scorpions. You could. And I had a doggy door and haven't really had an issue. I think I've been there 4 years. I've seen one scorpion, and guess what? It was dead. So that's the kind that we like. So you can seal, you can do pest control. There's even diatomaceous earth that you can put around, but it looks kind of gross having that white dust all around all of your entrances. So not something I recommend, but there are things that you can do. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about a second thing that is important for you to know as a Arizonian. So with direction of sun, west is going to be the most direct and hottest. So anything on that western side of the house is going to get a lot hotter. So with all of the surfaces on that west side, whether that be your stucco, the wood, the garage door, whatever part of your house it is, you want to make sure you keep an eye on it. And you want to keep a fresh coat of paint on that wood. So the wood will deteriorate, which will cause dry rot if you aren't keeping it sealed with the paint. And if it's on the western side, and sometimes even the eastern or south side, just depending on how that sun's hitting it and how often, it is going to deteriorate faster. So sometimes you just need to kind of keep a fresh coat on there. It'll make it last a lot longer. Now in Arizona, you want to change your air filters about every 30 days. So here's another tip for you. So about every 30 days, you want to change your air filters. A lot of people will come from other parts of the country and they'll say, hey, my air filters, I want to use those really good, thick HEPA allergen type filters. The air conditioner specialists in Arizona recommend that you don't use those. We use our air conditionings a lot here, and the harder you make that system work, the more that it's going to wear that system. So they just recommend those little cheap, thin air filters that don't make the system really draw heavy to pull the air through. So just change them every 30 days and then you'll be in good shape. It'll make your air conditioner last longer, hopefully as long as you had a good system. So while we're talking about air conditionings, one thing that I want to remind you of is here in Arizona, some people think, hey, you know what, I'm going to be gone for 4 months or maybe 3 weeks and I'm just going to turn the air conditioning off in the summer. I do not recommend that. You turn the air conditioning off, a lot of things in your house are really going to start to oversettle in a different way. You could have cabinet issues, you could have some cracking, your carpet could actually start to buckle and have some elasticity issues. You don't want to have those kind of problems. So I would recommend keeping your air conditioning sitting in that 80, 82. If need be, put it up towards 85. These are the things that I've heard from home inspectors and air conditioning specialists to not turn it completely off because you could have those issues with your house, but When I have had sellers that turn the air conditioning off for 2 or 3 days before closing, have had no issues with their air conditioners, all of a sudden it won't turn back on in the dead of the summer. And sometimes that's the capacitor that ends up going bad. So just trust me on that. Don't turn your air conditioner off. Even if you're leaving for a weekend, just put it up a little bit higher on the setting. And you don't want it to want to quit on you before its life expectancy is over. All right, let's go ahead and talk about something else. Rain gutters. A lot of people ask me, hey, do we need rain gutters in Arizona? It's definitely a preference for you if you want them or not, but I'll tell you why I think it's important to keep the water away from your house. People say it doesn't rain in Arizona. A lot of the new builders and the superintendents, when we meet with clients, they'll sit there and the client will ask directly to the superintendent, do I need to get rain gutters? And the builder is not including them in most cases. They go, no, you don't need to. It's Arizona. It doesn't rain. I would like you to talk to my foundation specialist about that question, because the foundation specialist will always tell you, because we don't have sealed slabs here, even though they're post-tension, they're still not a sealed slab. You want the water away from your foundation. Grading is important, but when it rains, the water actually sits kind of more surface because it doesn't go down into our dirt here like it would in other climates. Our dirt is different. A lot of clay in it as well. So we want to make sure that you're getting the water away from the house and get it completely out. So having those rain gutters keeps that water from sitting next to that foundation. You get water into that foundation and there's a lot of issues. We are going to be doing a video with our foundation specialist to talk to you about post-tension slabs, what you can do to help keep your foundation and your home structurally sound, keeping water away, the importances, the pros and cons, and when, what to be looking for in a home that you're buying that is a red flag for things like a foundation issue. So we are going to be doing a video like that. If you want to be notified when we're putting that video up, guys, just feel free to comment here, or you can call or text me or go on ArizonaLivingGroup.com and hit contact us, and we'll make sure that we notify you when we're putting that video up. You can also subscribe to the channel and click that little bell as well. Okay, so let's talk about how often to service your air conditioner and how often to service your garage door. So both of these things in Arizona should be serviced. Now, my garage door specialist recommends that you service your garage door at least once a year. So that is something very, very important. The other thing that you want to make sure that you service here in Arizona, usually once a year, you could do it twice a year, that's going to be your air conditioning. Now, if you wait until the first day when it's in the 90s or 100 degrees, good luck. You're not going to be able to reach the air conditioning guys and have them come out, because they're out helping everybody who went to turn their air conditioning on for the first time and it wasn't working. So definitely have it serviced in the fall or winter, in my opinion. So do it between, that October to February time frame to service the air conditioner. I think that that's the best time frame to do it. Now let's talk about pools really quickly. So if you have a pool in your backyard, you can have your pool serviced monthly. I think mine, my pool is a little bit larger, but I think that's about $120 a month that I pay for that. So depending, you could be between maybe 80, 100, 120, 140, and that includes chemicals for the pool. So recommend doing that. But people say, well, how long should I have the pump run? When should I run the pump? Well, the APS is the power company out here for part of the valley, and then SRP is the other utility company for the other part of the valley. Now, if there's some hours that they have that are like peak electric hours, so you don't want to be running your pump then unless you just want to blow some extra money. So I recommend that you do it at night. And my home inspectors have said if you run it for an hour per every 10 degrees of water temperature, that should be adequate. So if it's 80 degrees in the pool water, then 8 hours of running the pump would probably be acceptable. So maybe run it from 9 p.m. on or 10 p.m. on. That way you're not doing it during the daytime. Now, we have monsoons here. When those monsoons happen, there's wind that happens. So if you have trees that are up really close to the house, they could start hitting your roof tiles or your shingles and start disrupting that water barrier up there on your roof. So keep your trees trimmed away from the house and make sure, that you have a roofer go check on your roof every year, every couple of years, just get all the debris off of the roof. It's really going to help things last longer and help that membrane last longer as well. The other thing to remember with with monsoons is they can blow down trees. So out here, a lot of people put their trees on a drip system. What happens with these trees that are meant to get the rain from a heavy rain from a monsoon or a storm, and instead they're not getting their water from that, they're just getting surface water, their roots grow very shallow. So instead of the roots growing down, they're growing shallow, and what's happening is they're tipping over in storms. So be careful what you put close to your house. And I joke around because when you have these monsoon storms and you drive through like a Costco or a Home Depot parking lot, you just see like trees toppled over after a big microburst or storm. So maybe think twice before parking under or next to one of those Palo Verde or mesquite trees. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed the video today. Some little tips on being an Arizonan and living in Arizona. Again, I'm Kelly Norton, the AZ Realty Lady. Guys, I would love to talk to you about your relocation. Maybe you have a home here in the Valley that you want to sell as well. We do both sellers and buyers, so happy to help you. Reach out, go to ArizonaLivingGroup.com, hit contact us, or you can call or text me and put a comment in. Did you know all the information that we shared with you? And if there's a video idea that you would like us to talk about, go ahead and put it in the comments as well. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel and click that little bell, and we will notify you when we put up new videos. Till next time, bye-bye.